Hello everybody and welcome to a comprehensive review of Captain Marvel Volume 1 In Pursuit of Flight. This is one of my favorite graphic novels that I've read all of this year. Captain Marvel has always been a character that I've kind of always gone back to when I wanted something really cool to read. She's always been that character that, that always had a good book out, and I would always pick up any issue and I would love it. So when I picked up this book, I have never read this series, so I picked up this book from Half Price Books and I just read it like tonight, and I had to make a video tonight because I loved it so much and I wanted my hype to translate into a video instead of waiting a couple days to get everything sorted out. I wanted just to get my hype out in this video instead of like a script. The plot in this book is totally amazing. It's about time travel. It's something that you wouldn't really expect from like a galactic character like Carol Danvers. You would expect something like, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, something way off in space, more sci-fi than like comic book. But this was like time travel, and it was cool because I was not expecting that twist. I was expecting, like I said, a galactic plot, but the time travel plot did really well with this character, and I really enjoyed it. Now, this being a Captain Marvel book, you can tell that it is going to be based around women, which is awesome because you don't really get that a lot in comic books. So this one had a bunch of awesome women characters from like the World War II era. So they're like hardened women, and it was cool. It was like military women. So you kind of got an insight of something that you never ever see in comics or generally in anything. The characters were some of my favorite in any graphic novel. I love that the way that they interacted. I love the dialogue and how it's used to interact between each character. And I just love all the characters all around. Moving on to something else, Carol Danvers' costume is one of my favorite costumes of any character, of anything, any costume in any comic, in any book, in anything that's been explained. So this is one of my favorite like costumes out of anybody. This one is just so awesome. I don't know if it's like the colors or something, but it's like mostly I think it's because it's a woman, and women in comic books are usually just like have barely anything on when they have their costumes, but that looks more like a uniform, which is very, very awesome. I like the way that they stuck to Carol Danvers, her military roots. It kind of has the feel of like the Air Force because she was in the Air Force. She didn't want to be a pilot, but it is really cool. I love the costumes, I love the colors, I love the way, it just makes like Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel who she is. The art is something that is really cool. It is like a watercolor, almost like faded, something you don't see every day. You see a lot of penciling, but this is more like painting. Like Dustin Nguyen, his art for Batman Little Gotham, like it's like oil painting. And this kind of is what I feel with this. Like there's like a lot of like dark colors. You get a lot of shadowing and a lot of cool like fading into other colors. So I really like that about this book. It was something really different that I wasn't expecting. Again, this book was just full of unexpected things, so that was one of my favorite things. It helped the plot move along very nice because it did feel like a World War II kind of style of art. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the arc and how it carried. The arc carried very well in this book, and sometimes in graphic novels that's very hard for some people to do. I don't know why, but there's 6 issues in this graphic novel, and each issue has like a certain thing, and it's like it makes the arc perfect. Because like in some graphic novels, like I said, like a lot of things happen in one issue, and it's boring for 2 issues. Then a lot of things happen in one issue, and it just kind of gets boring that way, and I don't really like that style of graphic novel writing. But this one, it carried very well with exciting things in each issue, and some non-exciting things that they had to get out of the way in every issue, and they gave it reasonable not interesting things, and they gave a lot of really interesting things. So yeah, the story and the arc were very good. All in all, I would give this book a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I loved every part of it. I loved every second. I could not read it in one night. I wouldn't have read it in one night, but I had to make another YouTube video for another channel. But it was very fun, and it was very good, and I definitely recommend it to you. And tell me what other graphic novels you want to see me review in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.